Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Yeah, just jamming out a little Jim Morrison in the Doors there. Hope that you're doing good. I mean, that's some good music. I don't care what anyone says. That's yeah. And it's amazing that album is nearly 50 years old. So we knew how to rock back in the day. That's all I got to say. And so welcome everybody. Now I got that beat. Bum, 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 bum. Yep. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. That's how to bring up the vibration. If you're feeling down with the frown, we'll turn it upside down. So what's up, everybody? I had something I had to do yesterday, so missed y'all. Hey Gaia, what's up? So good to see you. Nina the Mystic, how you doing? Belanca, and hey Robert V, what's up? David Casso, Deborah Sloan, and Wendy and Bernadette. Wow, lots of it's filling up in here. So good to see y'all. Just really digging the day. Yeah. When the vibes are like in the world they are today, which is like totally on the opposite side, uh man, you got to generate your own and realize that you're not alone. And when you're generating that vibe, it transmutes, other people pick up on it, and then we start having a little fun. So what's going on? Bosto to everyone. Got the old Sky Pilot here. Big hug for the world. World needs a hug. World needs a hug. You know, if all of these conflicts that are taking place everywhere, I'm talking in different parts of the world, in different governments, if people would just imagine this. Imagine if the world would take 60 seconds, 60 seconds and hug. Just hug someone. You know, even if you don't like them, even if they don't smell good, doesn't matter. Even if they're tall, small, large, doesn't matter. Just give them a hug. And we'll just call it Give the World a Hug for Humanity. How's that? You know, something needs to happen because, yeah, it's pretty tense. So happy birthday to all of you that have one. Happy anniversary as well. Those are important. Let's see what else is going on tonight. The Steiger Perspective over artistfirst.com, 10 p.m. East time, East Coast, 8 p.m. for those who live in the lovely Mountain West. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. You know, there is a crack in this death shawl that they're trying to put over us. There is a crack in it, and that's all enlightenment needs. Just needs a little crack. It's going to be like water, and water can take on 3 different states. And so water can take on frozen state, then it can thaw, it can turn to a gas. And each time it turns to a frozen state, it expands out more and more. And then the next thing you know, we come rushing in. So check it out tonight. You'll enjoy it. What else is going on? Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, I like the Steiger perspective too. It's where you can really talk, really talk. It's where freedom. And speaking of freedom, how about, no more of the mask crap? Yeah. Emancipation Day. It's here. Yeah. Let's shout hallelujah. And let's just man, imagine that. We can actually now see each other, our beautiful faces. I mean, no one looks good in a mask. The only time you wear a mask is when you're robbing somebody or doing surgery, and the two are easily to spot. So figure out where we are in all of that. So yeah, well overdue. It is, absolutely. Hey, David Bear. Yeah, I saw Jennifer interview. Jen, you're growing, hon. It was good. Good. I'm going to talk more, see much more about the individual she had on there. It was pretty cool. Hey, Cheesesteak, what's up? Good to see you. Deep Thoughts as well. Woke Dealer, hello, 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 hello. Oh, they're still forced to wear them in school. Well, you know what that is? Hey, Goff, what's up? You know what that is? That is called ocular rectum. That's what those teachers have in school officials. Yeah, it's a syndrome, and it's got to watch it, man, because it's pretty contagious. I mean, ocular rectum is, you just don't want it. You don't want to be there. So, hey, Ari Dragon, what's up? Good to see Emperor Rex as well. Bernadette and Thomas, good to see you. So, what else is happening? Hey, Gaia, we are being robbed. Ain't that the truth? We are. It's a fact, Jack. Now they can rob us with us not even holding our hands up. And listen to the Steiger perspective. I'll bring out a little something that the American public completely missed in the 2009 Affordable Care Act. And yeah, you need to check into that. Well, if you listen to the Steiger perspective, I will enlighten you on it. It's something that we all need to be aware of because we are quickly about to, shall we say, enter in to the zone. So, let's see. Reading a couple of books. Got these on my list for the weekend. Really looking forward to this one. I recommend these to you because they were recommended to me. The Fourth Turning. We are in the fourth turning. Love how this guy brings this out. William Strauss and Neil Howe. Yeah, it explains a lot. There is a YouTube out there. Just probably type in the fourth turning and watch it. Really explains exactly. Well, let me put it this way. It is a great hypothesis on our current condition. And then I got one of Wes's Perrine's book. I'm really going to get into this because I've already done a lot of work on this. The Synthetic Superintelligence and the Transmutation of Humankind. Because, baby, we are in it. We are being transformed. The question is, into what? I don't know. So, and that's a great song, Loretta, by the Byrds. Yeah, it's out of the book of Ecclesiastes. Turn, turn, turn. And isn't in there also that says there is nothing new under the sun that has not been known to man. I studied that in Bible college, studied it independently, and studied that with others. It's very interesting because if that holds true, in which the words of the great magician Solomon means we've been here before. Maybe not in this exact setting, but in this exact set of circumstances. Makes you think, what's up? Hey, for those of y'all who live up in the Northeast, like New York and surrounding, you have the zombie cicadas about to hit you. I have an interesting story about cicadas. I was at one time a film producer and director and was in, thank you. Is that Han's Epiphany? Hannah Epiphany. Yeah. This is Lilith. I love that woman. The essence of the whole thing. But anyway, so we were out doing an outside shoot, and it was in the Missouri area, and it just so happened to be that was the 17-year cycle for the cicadas to come out there, and it was so loud you couldn't hear the actors actually talking. So, and the zombie cicadas are this. So they apparently have this fungus on them that acts like psilocybin to humans, but what it does is that it eats away the cicada itself, and they lose their back end and their sex organs. And for some reason, they don't even feel it. And they try to mate with everything. So like women, if you're outside and they get in your hair, it's even going to be harder to get them out of your hair because they're going to be trying to mate with your hair. Yeah, talk about is that a freaking plague or what? And listen, and we need to think positive thoughts for those areas in Australia. I mean, that mice apocalypse is I don't know how they do it. I mean, billions of, they say millions. You look at the video and it looks like billions. And imagine this, folks. Close your eyes for a second. So you're in your bed, and let's just say you've laundered your sheets and they smell great, and you're just kind of snuggling in there and you're drifting off to sleep. And then all of a sudden you feel run across your legs. They come upside your chest. They run across your hair. Mice everywhere. Those cicadas do look pretty weird. They look like a demon, got those red eyes and those mandibles. Yeah. But anyway, out there for all of you in Australia, we're sending you positive thoughts. I mean, oh man, no. So what else is going on? Paul Joe says, I've been thinking about the galactic sheet. Could it change the light frequency? I would say, Paul Joe, yes. Yes. I think that it's been here. This is the weird thing. It's here, been here. We're just getting more into it. And the real intense stuff is apparently right on our freaking doorstep. When we start seeing the same changes in Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, when we start seeing it hit the gas giants, which there's evidence it already is, well, it ain't that far, folks. I mean, it's like in the next state, it's like, oh, yeah. No, they're coming. It's coming soon. The chat room is really active in here. How cool is that? All right, let's get into one of my favorite subjects. I always like revisiting the Liber Lilith. Many of you probably weren't here when I did this. I think I did this in 2018. And it changed me. When you literally, let me just bring up the PDF. So if all of you who would like a copy of the PDF, I will warn you, this is not for the uninitiated. This is Donald Tyson's rendition of the Liber Lilith. I love this particular picture and whoever came up with it really, I think there was really a lot to this. This is the Liber Lilith. It's one, and Trina, look at this, hon. Yeah. How many times have you heard Trina talk about cutting herself out of the snake? Well, this is the egg, folks, of which we are all a part of. This is an interesting book. In it, and I literally wrote word for word every word of this grimoire, excuse me, and it was fascinating. I will tell you this: it's not to be fooled with. It really isn't. As you can see, my namesake, my family namesake, the Steigers, we have a very personal connection to Lilith. One of relatives on the other side of the pond, the story of what Carl went through, he literally went mad. I mean, that's all I can say. He just, that's how powerful this book can be. If you get enamored with Lilith, it can become very addictive. There has to be a balance. There has to be a respect. Lilith teaches us so much. She teaches us about the crowned serpent. We get into the pinnacle of Lilith, the seal of Lilith, the seal of Samuel, the true image of Lilith, the seal for opening the mouth, the Steiger's seal of Lilith. Yes, my family name. There is a crescent of the Steiger family. And yeah, again, we're, I guess you could say that there is a connection. You can read this for yourself. We'll get into a little part of it. And it's interesting because the disclaimer on this is very true. It says neither the author nor the publisher shall be held accountable for any injuries, damages, or misfortunes arising from the practice of the procedures described in this book. Under no circumstances should the dangerous ritual of sexual necromancy, excuse me, I know, boy, having a hard time to get everything out. In the 21st chapter of the Gilmore be attempted. I did not read it. We did not cover it out on the public because this is the kind of knowledge that, again, it would break most minds that even try to perform the ritual. It goes back. It has an interesting. This book goes back as far as Lamech. We're going way back into the Genesis genealogy, and how it has found its way through the millennia. Is the best way to say this. It tells you the story of how it came into my family name's sake, how Carl got a hold of this. It's an interesting story. And then what actually happened to it. And this is, the book of Lilith is, as they say, it's the Seve de Cordius Lavaris. That is having sex with a spirit. Now, again, this is heavy stuff, folks. Having or even attempting to get into that realm in that direction, I advise against it. It's interesting to read, but no, it's not my cup of tea. I have enough wisdom about myself. Above all things else, be true to thyself. And this is where I think some of the people got caught up. Now, this story where the Steigers are concerned was actually in 1989, 87. And then Tyson tells you how he came across it and how Carl's sister, after Carl basically committed suicide or sacrificed himself, I think is probably more the proper way of positioning it. So anyway, we'll get out of here. This is, again, it's a fascinating story, and I covered it in a PowerPoint presentation that interesting, isn't it? I know. Listen, this series got more. Well, it depends on where you are. It helped a lot of people who were really trying to get the story. This is what we know and which is taught. Let me bring this out. Here we go. Now, I did this again. This was back in I think about 2018 in the Bloodline Invader series. I knew that there was something then because I began to get in touch with something that was telling me that there was something much more to this. The Elohim play depending on how the myth or the lore you buy into, it depends. The Elohim seem to be devoid of the feminine. It's weird. It says that where homosexuality was actually brought on by the Elohim, and because the diminishing of the feminine is, wow, it's so complete and thorough. And when you look at this, and I'm not going to go through all this because we go through how Lilith came about, all the way going back to Mesopotamia, going back to even the Sumerian folklore as well. And particularly in the Abrahamic religions, this is very, very evident. As you can see, it's really the story of the first Eve. Depends again on your point of study and how she's related to virtually every feminine deity. This is a drawing of Lilith in Mesopotamia. Yeah, pretty strange. But we know the story of the Genesis lore. Now, this is the story that they took out. I don't want this in it. Damn it. We can't have this story going for us. It says that Adam and Lilith began to fight when they were about to engage in consummating the relationship. Adam insisted being on top, and Lilith said, no way, Jack. She is extremely independent. She is in all ways equal to the man, if not more superior, because Lilith brought something to women that men will never have. And of course, the story goes to which Adam said, well, I'm not going to lie beneath you. I'm only going to be on top. And isn't it odd? We have billions of people who have been slaughtered in the name of the Abrahamic religions. And if you trace all the story back to the original enslavement, apparently it was all about positioning. Yes, I know. And Lilith gets into this story. She tells you exactly on the other side. So this is the Holy One to Adam. Now, it's very interesting because words are important. And in this title, the Holy One, this is not God, but this is a Holy One who says to Adam, well, if she agrees, because Lilith got up and said, basically, up yours, I'm out of here. I don't need you, and I don't need this God that raped her. Don't need it. And the story is what we're going to find out about the splitting of the serpent gets really deep. So it was agreed that if she comes back, well, everything will be fine. Now we're dealing with how should we say, the patriarchal mindset. Women are allowed to be beaten. Read the Old Testament, read the book of Leviticus. In the book of Leviticus, it talks about putting women into the sex slave. They were brought in to be used as sex slaves for the Israeli army. I mean, what you would call the, children of Israel. Yeah. Such a lovely story, isn't it? And it says, but if not, she must permit 100 of her children to die every day. And there's a lot into this. So the story is that Michael and Gabriel, I think and Raphael may have been as well, sent out to subdue her. Well, when they caught up with her, they backed down like that. So, sorry, ma'am, didn't mean to offend you here. But anyway, in this meeting, this conclave that they had, accordingly, she was willing to give up 100 demons, her children, to perish. And for the same reason, we write the angels' names on the amulets of young children. It's a dark story about our beginning and of who is truly would be considered our God, our goddess, really. She's above the gods. Now, people don't like to hear that stuff. They don't. They're like, what? No way, man. Well, I know. It gets a little strange. But let's get into her story. What time we got left. I love this because she's a gal. She is a She's a powerful, powerful being. Again, here is the story in very quick notes. Carl Steiger secured one of the only manuscripts known of the book of the Liber Lilith. He committed suicide or sacrificed in 95. He thought to have made contact with Lilith in coitus. Her power is beyond comprehension, consumed him. This goes back to back into 16 with John Dee. There have been, and you read the story for yourself. Jesus is not God. No prayer should be made to a Jesus. There is no sin. A man's soul can go from one body to another after death, but not all souls can. There is a set number to the amount of men and women, no more, no less. That the generations of Adam and Eve is not history, but writing that has another sense. And there is no Holy Ghost. The history of the book, it surfaced in Antwerp in 1562. John Dee is said to have acquired the book in 1583. Edward Kelly, his assistant, is said to have made the first contact in a seance. In 1584, a seance was conducted by Kelly, attending where's the Queen Elizabeth, and John Dee as well. I've done a story. We may revisit John Dee. What a powerful individual. Now, this is from Lilith. She says that this is how it came about. Lamech is said to have written the book that was dictated by Lilith herself. The first time the book was spoken about was in the 2nd century. Origens, who is a founder of the Christian religion. Origens lived in Alexandria, possessed the book. Trimithis is said to have had the book at one time. Eusebius of Caesarea affirmed this. Paul of Antioch is said to have possessed the book. Paul of Antioch is the Apostle Paul. Origens became insane, trying to make contact with her. He, as the story goes, and it's apparently written down as history, in the public square, which the cosmopolitan cities of that era all had, and stood up and basically castrated himself. What a sight to see, huh? So it has a dark history. It is one, again, that you really have to be careful with. She says, the mysteries of the forbidden knowledge as revealed by Lilith, queen of harlots, unto Lamech, son of Methuselah, son of Michael, son of Tried, son of Enoch, son of Cain, the accursed. Write these words. Fear not, child of my womb, for I have come to comfort you in the darkness of your soul. Listen and be wise. All the seed of Cain and its seed and the seed of its seed was given me, even unto the 7th generation. Faithless one, you are the child of my womb, as was your father and his father before him. Deny me not. Soon the blood of your hand will prove your birth. Hearken to me, and I will teach you wisdom that has not been spoken of since the beginning. Yes. And this section is called the Destroyer, by the way. So Lamech, he laments, and he said Lamech could not resist. He entered into sexual intercourse with Lilith and spills his seed into Lilith's womb. Lilith instructs Lamech to write her words. And this is where the legends of the succubuses come from. Succubuses are Lilith's daughters who literally come in the bewitching hour, which is about 3 a.m., and they go and collect male semen and bring it back to her. Semen, if you use it in magical rituals, is extremely powerful, as is the blood of a menstruating woman. I know people are like, and they get they just say, oh, no, no, no. Well, folks, like I said, this is why this knowledge is not taught. Listen to the wisdom of the eons, and wise and understanding, O son of blood. We are literally born in blood. You and I. That's the difference between us and over on the other side. Many spirits, energies have not gone through the veil of blood. That's what birth is. And as we now know, the MLI, the fluid, ambient fluid is, well, it's mixed in blood as well. Lilith leaves a scent of sandalwood. If you've ever smelt sandalwood, well, then you're not burning it. There you go. The teachings of Lilith: the god of the sons of Adam is not the highest monarch of the heavenly zones. Above him dwells one so much greater that his greatness cannot be measured. Even the name of God defiles him, for he is not a god, but a singleness of being without discontinuity. This is important. And if you can grasp it, it opens portals. He shines with a pure light. No one can see him. He speaks in thunder. No one can hear him. There is none existing prior to him to limit his duration. He is ineffable and perfect, standing alone, complete unto himself. Neither male nor female, neither large nor small, neither breath, excuse me, I cannot see this. I have to hide the vid. There we go. Nor flesh, the mind of man can never question his qualities, for he is unknowable. He endures outside of time and encompasses duration. He is the father of eons. He rules before and above all existences. Right now, there are an unknown number of existences, many of them mirroring ours. And those people living in there think that they are the only reality, like we do. He gives knowledge, but not wisdom. There's a reason for that. He gives mercy, but it is not love. The name of him is forever unspeakable, for in it are all the names and moments in all the existences of all things. If ever the name of him were spoken aloud, the universe would unravel like the hem of a garment and come to an end. Maybe why we, again, talked about, don't know our name. How it began. Eternal unity gazed upon himself within himself. He was alone. In the mirror of his radiance, he sent a shining seed of desire into the light and impregnated his image by an act of self-love. He still remained a virgin spirit. The first birth. The first power issued forth from the mind of all. She is called Bar-Belon, and her light is like the light of the invisible perfection. She sings songs of praise. She praised him who brought her forth from out of his radiance. She is the glory of the first thought, his image, the eternal womb that was before all other things. She is the heavenly Adam. She is the queen of the eons. She is the divine of two sexes. She is the Shabina from whose breast flow the milk that nourishes the worlds. And notice that it's capitalized and in pearl stance. The second birth. The perfect Father sent his light seed through Bar-Belon and placed within her womb a spark. We call it the spark of divinity. The joy Bar-Belon brought forth the spark, who is like the light of his Father, but less than his Father's light, because no spirit can equal his greatness. He is called Autogen, the only begotten one. He was begotten of the light of the invisible presence. With his own light, he begat no others. The Father gave his only begotten Son a mind that he might know truth. He sent him a word that his voice might echo with thunder. He anointed him with the radiant water of his own pure fountain and called him Messiah, the anointed one. That's where we get Messiah. The Autogen stood before the throne of the Eon of Eons. Every power that was in the light knelt down to worship him. They saw the light of truth shining inside him with the holy letter of the name that is exalted above every other name. This is wisdom to the wise. The third birth. By the will of the Autogen, from the virgin mind of pure light came forth into being the heavenly man who is called the Geromenos. The perfect spirit bestowed upon him the gift of intelligence and strength to topple mountains. He set heavenly man upon the highest of the highest eon, the eon of light, ever besides divine Autogen. That what has been in the world, or is to come, is foreshadowed in the length, breadth, and height of his measure. Imagine these beings. This is, and I don't know, the thing that I got from this is that there is a realm, it's beyond thought, but it is a realm that when thought is birthed forth, it's fantastic. The first fall. Gronmus sang praises to the Father from all who things flow and to whom all things return. The Taurus. He sang praises to the Son, the living truth, who shines in glory before the throne. In modesty, Babylon concealed herself behind a veil of clouds. Goromedes did not know her and sang no songs in praise to the first power. Big mistake. Jealousy of the beauty of Goromedes, who was, and you can see that is, you can see Adamus, well, Goromedes, who was harmonious and perfect in all his parts. Now, I can correlate this over back to the book of Isaiah. So it's the same thing almost. Babylon looked upon herself and sought her own image in the luminous mirror with the intention to create one like herself who would rival Goromedes' beauty. She conceived this thought in secret, lacking consent of her maleness. So don't tell me that thoughts do not create reality, that thoughts cannot manifest themselves in actual material. The Father did not approve her plan. Her wish expanded with the power of the light and became a form in the dryness of her womb. A mass issued forth that was not her image. She looked upon it in horror. The mass withered and changed into a serpent with the head of a lion. Its eyes were bright stars that flashes lightning and showers glowing sparks. The shame of Babylon. In shame, Babylon cast from her breast the child of her imprudent desire. So no immortal would look upon its incompleteness. She took it far from the knowledge of the deathless ones, even out of the place of eons. Folks, this will, if you've never heard this before, I encourage you to read the book because it will expand you place. It'll take you to a place. She made a throne and concealed it within a radiant cloud, so no one but her would find it. and the location of its throne. Could this be the black hole? This is interesting because this is Yahweh. This is the Elohim. This is Jehovah. He dwells in a cloud of glory. Well, it's a glory to him, but yeah. The child grew strong by the power it had received from its mother. His name is Samael, but some may call him Al-Traboeth. He is the first of the archons. And they are joined forever. Yeah. So this is how God of the Abrahamic religions began. I guess this is the only one because it's the only one making claim to this association. So Mother Barbelon gave creation to god Samael. Lilith was made out of the substance of the prince of the eons. It's important, that substance. We'll get in, like I said, go look back at the series because it really gets into this. So Samael and Lilith are one flesh. Lilith can appear male to seduce women. She is known as the slant serpent. Lilith can appear female to seduce men. She is known as the convoluted serpent. They are all one. If someone is thinking, well, this sounds like they're saying that Lilith is God. One of the earlier drawings of Lilith, I believe this is this is way before the Jews were ever about. How God began, we continue. She is called the Northerner. All evils descend from the north. That's in the book of Isaiah. She is known as the blind dragon to steal warmth of the living souls. To that I can testify. She is Lilith, the sinful. Eve is her daughter. Samael, the serpent, raped Eve. Lilith, the serpent, raped Adam. Cain is Lilith's first mankind born. Lilith, the ancient, is older than mankind. The fallen ones are her offspring, and mankind are brought to her, and she nourishes them with wormwood. Eve is called little Lilith of Lilith the Great, consort of Samael, chief archon. Samael and Lilith are one when manner of appearances. As a female, Lilith is from the navel up a woman, from the navel down she is a serpent with a vagina. Guyana, the other paradise. Okay, as I said, seriously? Lilith has many forms. She is God. In some forms, the mind of mankind cannot fathom her. It drives them to chaos. There is a story of how all this became this way. It would appear the mankind in many ways is a prisoner to these beings. Man, the heavenly man, is still there. This is our ultimate destiny, to rejoin and to become one. So the story goes, the first creation of man was actually hermaphrodite. We had both. Pretty strange, I know. Lilith, the blind dragon, lays with Samael. This is the first kind. Authorities, kings, the fallen ones. First from the dragon, there are 12 authorities. They are ruled by the supreme authority. Each rules in his house, his kingdom, which is in the heavens, the firmament above us. The names of the first 12 that were born of Lilith and Samael are Athroth, Barmus, Galia, Nobel, Adonis, Cain, Zebel, Zebarisnia, Nubel, Zermotoyapel, Maphabar, and Bealis. It had to come back to me. It took a long time to learn to pronounce it. I think I butchered one of them. But anyway, the children of Lilith and Samael. The second to come forth are 7 kings. These are 7 authorities, consecrated them and set them in the 7 heavens. From the highest, their names. Athroth, again, looks like a sheep. Elolos looks like an ass. Hastaphoius looks like a hyena. Neo looks like a serpent with 7 heads. Seaboth looks like a dragon. Ananen looks like a baboon. And Zebedias looks like a flame. 7 archangels are set to rule over all lesser angels, whose is 365. These angels are as known as follow, these archangels: Michael, Oriel, Asmodeus, Sepharetel, Homrianian, Richtfremius, and Ampopres. 5 spirits are engendered to command the 4 incorporeal powers of the essences of matter, and the 5th power that comprehended the 4th. The spirit of heat is the fiery potency, who is called Balorapha. The spirit of coldness rules the watery potency, Orothus. The spirit of dryness rules over the earth potency, Adeos. The spirit of moisture rules over the air potency, Aethorus. And the spirit of quintessence is Onworthoras. This is, when if you read this and you begin to see the org chart, that's what it is. This is the org chart. The children of Lilith and Samael, 5 demons rule all passions. Pleasure is ruled by Imphi. Desire is from Nophro. Fear is Blalomin. Quidepoto is the commands, all of them. From these 4 demons spring forth all the passions of the frailty of the flesh. From sorrow comes anxiety, distress, envy, and jealousy. Lesser demons are set over the body. Camiel became lonely for the brightness of Sephabina shining forth from the mother. The same light glows within him, but he hides this beneath the veil of his ignorance. When he became mature, desire arose within his groin. He lusted, but knew not the shape of his lust. He wandered through his kingdom of his own creation. Carmel, turning in upon himself, he sought his reflection in the fiery furnace of his heart, and twisted it as the potter twists his clay into semblance of the shining form of Barbelon. He fashioned a consort like his mother in all her feminine aspects that issued from his left side ribs. I love this. Her name is Lilith, she who walks in the beauty clothed with the shadows of the moon, the dark moon Lilith. Now, this is the Psalm of Lilith. This is the psalm of the beauty of Lilith. O my love, none are upright as the palm whose fruit is ripe. You are as slender as the river reed that bows its head at eventide. Your hips twist with grace of the serpent that glides across the face of the waters, and the waters cover it not. Beneath the sun, your hair is a living flame woven on the loom with golden threads. Beneath the moon, your hair is a dark river that sweeps the stars. Your breast rise with your breath like two sheep that climb the hillside. Beneath the sun, your eyes are as white lobes that flit a mind and cool green shadows of cedars. Beneath the moon, your eyes are silver fish that dart and hide in the obsidian depths. Your voice is as the splashing of a fountain in the heat of a midday, and the paleness of your cheeks a place of shade to lie under on the sands of the desert. Cool my parched lips with the wine of your kisses. Soothe my bow with the sighs of mountain snows. Your thighs are pillars of marble that guard the entrance to the temple of mysteries, black beneath the sun, but white under the moon. With your scarlet mouth, you smile wordless promises. Dance for me by moonlight, O my beloved. Come to my bed when the lamp oil is dry and the dogs that guard the threshold sleep. On the altar of your belly, I offer my lifehood. Dance within my dreams until I love sleep more than waking and learn to hate the dawn. I love this book. The incompleteness of Lilith. The consort was imperfect because the maker was incomplete. In outward shape, the beauty of Lilith was like that of the first moon, but inward, she was emptied and unfulfilled. A hollowness grasped under her left rib, the same hollow that was in the side of Samael. She was ignorant of her weakness and believed herself to be the queen of all creation. For that is what Samuel told her as he went with her up and down the land and showed to her his kingdom. She was lied to. She was deceived. Lust is born in Lilith. Because of her emptiness, it engendered lust and the need to be filled, and the same lust was found to be in Samuel. When she looked upon her nakedness, she embraces the first archon and was transformed into a serpent, even as he was a serpent. Samuel is called the slant serpent, Lilith the convoluted serpent, because he falls upon her from the heavens as lightning strikes, but she rises slowly from the earth to receive him as a climbing vine. The red dragon is born. When Samuel and Lilith loins met, there was a mighty churning and a swirling of the firmament, like the revolving of a great and vast maelstrom. Out of the vortex of turning chaotic mass sprang forth a dragon without beginning and without end. Its scales are as drops of blood and fire in its breath. Its eyes are shut up into slits after the way of the serpents that dwell in the depths of the abyss. The red dragon does not see the sun by day, nor does it see the moon by night. This is a picture from Hubble. This is called the red dragon. All of the red dragon blind all the red dragon's blind will was focused upon desire and lust. It coiled itself 3.5 times between Samuel and Lilith. They could not have intercourse with each other directly, but only through the coils of the sightless worm. The red dragon was born from the vortices of their empty and unfulfilled need. They could not be fulfilled except through the red dragon's substance. And this is a depiction in the heavens of this. It's saying that the dragon is going to consume the virgin. Now you know where these stories are. Okay, I'll kind of just leave it off there. I wasn't going to do the whole thing. Well, I can't. This thing is, I think it's well over a couple hundred pages. But I do want to show you something. Let me make sure. Yeah, it is. It's 211 slides. No way we'll ever get in that. But I want to go back to where all of this came from. This is the story, and I want to pull into the story that I just read to you. This is the whole background, and because the script of this is very difficult to read. It can become a real challenge. I know when you write every word of this, there were many times I literally had to get a magnifying glass and see. But the point to all of this is the story. What I just read to you was just a condensed, taking each one of these sections and putting it down into a talking point. So, give me 1 second here. Okay. As you get further into it, as you can see, it gives a different story of man's creation. Unlike any other story I've ever come across. And you can see already from what I was just bringing out. And again, this is not for the uninitiated. It can be a real brutal assault on your senses, because this is a story that is not, how shall we say, sterilized. It's brutal, it's in your face, and it's made with no apologies. And I find it, again, of all the books that I have read on Lilith, this one to be the most profound in understanding, giving the individual comprehension of a different point of view. Stella says, same old, it's greed. Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. So, it's fun to get back and just review this. And like I said, I didn't get through even a fifth of it. Go look at the series. It just goes on. And like I said, I did not print out or speak of the rituals themselves. Again, these rituals are some of the most powerful. Listen, I studied the Gilmores of Solomon and learning all of the 72 demons and their characteristics, their names. This by far is, it's very, it's as real, I guess, as you can get it. That's the only thing I can say. What did Yellow Rose have to say today? Is it all coming to an end? Hey, Robin, how you doing? Good to see you. Brandy as well. David, exactly. I am warning you. If you ask for the PDF, I just need to tell you, you've got to be really, folks, this, again, it's like handling nitroglycerin. You don't want to upset it. It's powerful. And again, just for the record, I never did any of the rituals. Again, I did not write them out. I read them. I did not speak them. And there's a reason for it. And again, just the knowledge of these rituals, of how to, and David, I'm going to hold my words on some of this, in actually bringing full materialization of an energy. As I said the other day, you don't want to mess with that energy. It's there's nothing wrong with it. You have to understand, this is not good and evil. This is you because if you say it's evil, well, that's because you're taking a side of a story that told you it was evil. And you can't say it's good, because then you're taking the side that it is superior. What I'm saying is that take it in balance and you can learn from it. There. She says that Lilith has been taken out. I don't think so. I don't think so. But everyone has their own opinion, you know. It's as real as your mind. And that is so true. And you know, that's why we go to movies. That's why you read books, because when you're reading the book, it becomes alive in your mind. You're living it out. And if you get into where you're indoctrinated, that's how they indoctrinate you, is you read the same thing over and over again and you speak it out and it becomes real in your mind. Evil and good are perspectives. David Barry, it's David. We ought to get you on here, dude. How about the next week? Want to come on? Send me an email. I'd love to have you on. I think this could get into a really good, because, you know, we haven't really gotten back into some of the foundational stuff. I mean, there's so much going on and so great material to cover. But, you know, you get back into this and there is strong foundation to this, folks. There is. There really is. Stay in the middle. Hannah's epiphany. Yes. Good point, Deborah. Truex, exactly. I love that. If you have a perceived notion of good or evil, that's what it appears to become. Yeah. And they say that that's what happens to many people who cross over, who are very, have strong beliefs in certain religions, what have you. They're going to go into that, because if they didn't, there would be it would be disastrous. And eventually the illusion fades out and they say, oh, yeah. And remember, I love how Lilith, and I know I'm going to go over, who cares? She talks of a place. I don't even know if it's a dimension. I don't know if it's a plane of existence. It seems to be above all that. The best thing that I can relate to is in the Star Trek, The Next Generation, where the visitor came and was propelling the Enterprise at speeds and distances that were impossible. And they went so far that they were in a place. And I remember Picard saying, "What is this place?" And the word was, "This is nothing." The nothingness. It's where all potential comes from, where everything that is derives from. Maybe that's what we're talking about. And can you imagine beings? I don't even know if they're beings, but that's where they dwell. That's their existence. Well, they'd have to look at us going, are those kids ever going to learn? I don't know, folks. All right. This has been fun. So Lilith gave birth to Eve, then Eve gave birth to Gaia. I don't know, maybe possible. Rex, I don't know if it's actually that. In the Liber, Eve, of course, you know, gave birth to, I guess, what I guess Cain. I get that would be right. No, because Lilith claims to have given birth to Cain. Makes you think, doesn't it? What's going on? Would someone please tell us who we are? We're so confused. All right, folks. Thank you all. This has been fun. I'm going to try to get on tomorrow. I don't know if I am, but I'm going to try. And if I don't, well, I'll see you, Monday for sure. But if I do, I'll see you tomorrow if I can get things worked out. Thomas says, we humans are as young souls learn through the archetypes. Yep, we are thrown into a stage, good versus evil, where only the things that there is love. Yep. Love conquers all. Yeah, it's true. This has been fun. I hope it's been fun for you. One person didn't like it, but hey, that's all right. You know, if I heard this stuff first time, it pissed me off too. Hey, Big Al, much love to you and Perry. Here you're out there in Trina's country. So safe travels to you. Rex, it may be the full circle. I mean, it's the Taurus. I mean, it is. I guess it's just a matter, I guess, who we want to plaster who the picture is on the Taurus and the effect, you know. You can call it this God and call it that God. I contend that, you know, there really is no thing as a God. There is something more superior to God, because every God seems to have a name. And if you know the name, then you can know you control the God. That's how they say. Remember what Lilith said. The name that started all this can't be spoken. You know, hey, Martin and Heidi, how y'all doing? Okay, folks, much love to you all. I do appreciate every one of you. You really are. Um, I have to say, I really miss y'all when we don't get together. And so anyway, we live on the dragon. Ain't that the truth? Hey, you're welcome, Nina. I think you have, oh, yeah, that's right. You had your show yesterday, my dear. Okay. All right, folks. So much. Tune in tonight over the Steiger perspective. You'll get a second dose. There you go. All right.